Welcome back to the Dora Wirth Languages mini video series. This episode has been produced in collaboration with Asphalion, a scientific and regulatory affairs consultancy based in Barcelona, Spain. Asphalion provides comprehensive support during development, validation, certification and manufacturing of medical devices. Today we're talking to Eduardo Garrido, Asfalion's medical device officer, who will give us a quick overview on the medical devices regulation in Europe.
Thank you for joining us. In order to place a medical device in Europe, it is necessary to obtain a CE mark for your device. Depending on the classification of your device, this will require the involvement of a notified body, an entity designated by a member state and responsible for the conformity assessment of certain medical devices. Once CE marking has been granted to a product, it can be placed on the market, even though national procedures might also be necessary depending on the country. Currently, the legal framework for medical devices in Europe is in a transitional stage. Directives for medical devices 9385 CEE and 9342 CEE are being replaced by the Regulation 2017-745, while the Directive for in vitro diagnostic medical devices 9879 CEE is being replaced by the Regulation 2017-746. Regulation 2017-745 will fully apply from May 2021, but devices with a valid certificate under the directives can be made available on the market until May 2025. In vitro diagnostic regulations, on the other hand, will not fully apply until May 2022. As the medical devices regulation is about to fully apply, it is important to keep in mind the basics of this regulation and the potential impact on your documentation, especially if your device is being upclassified from Class 1. According to the regulation, your device can be classified in Class 1, 2A, 2B, and 3, going from the lowest risk class, Class 1, to the highest, Class 3. Class 1 devices are the only ones which are self-certified by the manufacturer of the device. That is, there is no involvement of a notified body in the conformity assessment procedure. Nevertheless, the manufacturer must ensure and document that the device complies with the General Safety and Performance Requirements, GSPR. On the other hand, the other classes do require of the involvement of a notified body in the assessment. This organism will check the device does meet all the applicable requirements. Demonstration of compliance is performed by compiling the technical documentation. This will be a dossier that will include all the information related to the medical device. This technical documentation is controlled by the quality management system of the manufacturer. The technical documentation will include several different sections, such as the manufacturing process, the list of GSPRs, or the post-market surveillance, amongst others. Usually, the technical documentation is split in different chapters that will compose the core of the dossier. This core is commonly written in English, as this language is usually accepted by the notified bodies. Each of the chapters might, in turn, include some annexes. These annexes are usually not bound to any language requirements and are usually included in the national language of the manufacturer. There are, however, some documents that require special attention. For instance, there are specific annexes that are usually translated to English, such as the GSPR checklist or the risk analysis report. On the other hand, there are documents that might require translation to diverse national languages. These include instructions for use and the label of the device, which will have to be translated to the national languages of the countries where the device is marketed. Sometimes the summary of safety and clinical performance, a mandatory report for implantable and Class 3 devices, shall also be translated to national languages. It shall be noted that these documents should be ready when initiating the CE marking process, as this will be required by the notified body.
Thank you, Eduardo, for sharing Asfalion's expertise on this topic. Do you have any questions regarding which documents you should be translating or including in your technical documentation? Don't hesitate to contact Eduardo and his team at Asphalion via the details on screen. Or, if you need assistance with the translations, get in touch via info@dwlanguages.com or by visiting our website. Thank you very much.